Just 3 hours after my last video, there's already been an update to the Schlep vs Roblox situation, and despite me making the assumption that Roblox wouldn't make another response, surprisingly they did make another response, and the stuff that is said is enough for me to make another video, and a lot of you seem to agree, based off of the previous community post. So just as of last night, Roblox has changed their 17+ games to 18+, Russia was in talks about banning Roblox, Roblox issued another response, and what they said is honestly insane, and on top of all of that, a literal Roblox administrator has been exposed for being a white. This and so much more will be discussed in this video, so make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment #FreeSchlep. Also, YouTube released a new hype feature, so be sure to hype this video up to make sure that this new update is not silenced by YouTube's new algorithm. So anyways, let's get started with how a few days ago, KPLC, a local news station in Louisiana, aired a report highlighting the growing concerns over Roblox's lack of proper child safety protections. The segment was significant because it wasn't just coming from YouTubers or online creators this time, it featured Louisiana's Attorney General Liz Muriel, who gave an official statement criticizing Roblox for its repeated failures to safeguard its massive underage player base.
The parish sheriff was executing a warrant and encountered an individual who was masking his voice as a 14-year-old girl while he was actively using Roblox to, on young children. What we do is designed to increase user engagement numbers, which increase their profitability.
The live stream also featured Schlep, who spoke about his unjustified ban and Roblox's unwillingness to cooperate when it comes to serious safeguarding issues that involve their own players.
People are just upset about how Roblox is handling and treating safety of their users, and that's pretty much how we've gotten here.
YouTuber and Roblox content creator going by the handle Schlep was recently banned from the platform after he took matters into his own hands, catching Chris Hansen style, but Schlep says he did it with police involved.
Either during the catch or before the catch, we would let the police department know what was going on. And we would never come into this from a confrontational perspective. We would just be like, hey man, we know what's going on. We just want to have a conversation and talk about it.
Schlep says he tried to work with Roblox on this and instead was banned for violating its policies.
I made it very clear in my content that I wanted a line so I could report these people to Roblox. And the first line of contact, actual official contact I got from Roblox was the cease and desist letter.
Rather than addressing these concerns, Roblox issued yet another statement, and it was the same exact copy and paste response that they had used 2 weeks prior. Their spokesperson doubled down, saying, taking the law into your own hands isn't safe in the real world, and it's not safe online. They also repeated, many experts agree, independent actors impersonating others and luring users to other platforms for conversations can never be safe. But this claim simply doesn't hold up. The reality is that Schlep has never lured onto Discord or other platforms for conversations. In every case, it has always been the themselves who initiated this conversation. Schlep's method mirrored approaches used by Chris Hansen on To Catch, or even sting operations carried out by law enforcement and the FBI. Yet Roblox continues to insist on branding him as a vigilante. That label doesn't fit. By definition, a vigilante is someone who takes enforcement into their own hands without legal authority. Schlep, however, has consistently passed all evidence to police, resulting in multiple arrests and even ongoing trials. That is cooperation with the law, not vigilante behavior. But this is where the story gets even larger. Following the Louisiana broadcast, Rolling Stone published an article covering the situation. Rod Brasilu, hopefully I got that name right, a journalist and esport consultant, pointed out the absurdity of Roblox's position. He stated that it should not have taken the outrage of YouTubers and streamers or the attention of a state attorney general to finally force Roblox into making changes. He pointed out that there had already been multiple deep investigative pieces by journalists on this exact issue, along with dozens of arrests and alleged tied to Roblox, but only now did Roblox take meaningful action. His comment summed it up perfectly. Roblox was caught flat-footed and is now facing the full brunt of political pressure they had ignored for years. And indeed, after years of ignoring warnings, Roblox finally introduced a major change. All 17+ rated games are now restricted to 18+ adults only. This means that players under 18 cannot even see search results or recommendations for any of these games, and later this year, they will be completely blocked from accessing them at all unless they verify verify their age with a government ID. While this is a positive change on the surface, it also points out a much larger issue. Roblox only moved when external pressure became unavoidable. It took national news coverage, attorney general involvement, and massive public criticism before they acted. Meanwhile, Roblox continues to recycle the same language in their public statements by constantly repeating the same carefully crafted PR ideas. They signal that they aren't willing to take accountability or acknowledge the specifics of the criticism. Instead of grappling with the fact that these have constantly put their platform for years, Roblox chooses to hide behind broad claims about safety that fall apart under the slightest scrutiny. And this is where the hypocrisy becomes absolutely insane. Roblox positions itself as a company that cares deeply about safety. Yet, when someone like Schlep actually takes action that directly lead to arrests, Roblox's response is to demonize him. They accuse him of being unsafe while they're still freely roaming on their platform. The irony is absolutely insane. They say taking the law into your own hands isn't safe, but in reality, handling evidence to law enforcement is the exact opposite of that, but they still claim that's what Schlep is doing. They're claiming that Schlep is a vigilante, when by definition, he isn't. At the end of the day, Roblox doesn't look like a company protecting kids. They look like a company protecting themselves. They would rather smear the people clearing up their platform than face the uncomfortable truth. Have been able to thrive on Roblox for years because of the company's inaction. And if Roblox refuses to acknowledge effective safeguarding methods, their so-called commitment to safety is nothing more than a PR shield. Now let's talk about something you probably didn't expect. Russia almost banning Roblox. Just last month, Roblox found itself on the verge of being banned across the country, and the reason behind it is stranger than you'd think. It wasn't about inappropriate avatars, scams, or behavior on the platform. Instead, the controversy was tied to Roblox games depicting the Chernobyl disaster of 1986. The Children's Rights Commissioner for Tatarstan, Irina Volyanets, argued that these games could normalize destructive behavior among children, claiming that virtual depictions of a real-world tragedy risked making it look like a harmless, fun game instead of the devastating event it truly was. In other words, the concern was that kids would trivialize or desensitize themselves to disasters by playing through them in Roblox. Now here's the insane part. Chernobyl happened nearly 40 years ago. The idea that Roblox could face a nationwide ban in Russia over this feels like a massive overreaction. And when you consider Roblox's real problems, things like being caught kids, inappropriate content constantly flashing through moderation, underage players bypassing age verification, and an endless wave of scams that target children on a daily basis, a handful of Chernobyl-themed games hardly seem like the hill worth dying on. Compared to those issues, threatening an outright ban over historical roleplay games feels more like a political stunt than a genuine safeguarding concern. But Roblox's controversies don't just stop at external governments criticizing them. Problems exist inside of the platform too, sometimes involving the very people Roblox gives power to. Recently, one of their own administrators was exposed for being a white. Here's how that unfolded. A developer named GG Foxy's, with like 4 S's, the owner of a donation game called Developer Mayhem, received an unusual request. A Roblox admin reached out asking to purchase his game. Foxy declined the offer, and that's where things went off the rails. Instead of moving on, the admin joined Foxy's Discord server and began nitpicking, even pressuring him to change his username. Annoying, sure, but there's nothing too alarming until things escalated. The admin completely spiraled out of control. They started posting gifs, dropping slurs, and spamming hateful content, basically turning the server into chaos. Thankfully, Foxy managed to screenshot the evidence before it was deleted, but the damage was done. This wasn't just some random troll. This was a person with administrative privileges on Roblox's platform. That's completely insane, and really concerning, honestly. It doesn't just reflect badly on the individual admin, it raises much larger questions. Who is Roblox hiring or giving these roles to? How thorough are their background checks? And when someone in a position of authority behaves this way, what kind of accountability actually exists? If Roblox can't ensure that the people entrusted with special powers are safe, how can anyone trust their wilder claims about protecting kids? And unfortunately, this isn't an isolated incident. Roblox has a pattern of either associating with harmful individuals or ignoring them outright when they're exposed. The white admin's situation is one example, but another, even arguably worse, is the case of Cherry Paw. For those unfamiliar, Cherry Paw is a name that's been circulating in Roblox for years. They were once a part of the Fast Track reporting program, a system where certain users' reports were prioritized above everyone's else. That means if Cherry Paw reported you, Roblox was far more likely to take action against your account. It was a position of trust, and Cherry Paw spectacularly. They weaponized Fast Track to mass report and ban people that they didn't like, purely out of personal spite. But didn't end there. Behind the scenes, Cherry Paw was engaging in far darker behavior. Back in 2017, while they were 19 years old, they ran Discord servers that openly included minors as young as 14 and 15, and in those servers, they pressured kids into inappropriate roleplay, admitted to soliciting content, and even bragged about their actions. Over the next 2 years, the situation only escalated. By 2018 and 2019, the number of victims had grown. Screenshots, chat logs, and testimonies from the community members painted a very clear picture. This wasn't a one-time lapse in judgment, this was a repeated pattern of behavior. And every single time Cherry Paw was exposed, the cycle repeated. They'd issue an apology, claim they were seeking help, announce that they were quitting Roblox, and then sure enough, quietly return under a new alias. One of the most blatant examples was their account, Lepian Hybrid. And here's the unbelievable part, Roblox never actually banned him. Even after the material surfaced, even after the overwhelming evidence piled up, the account only disappeared when Cherry Paw themselves deleted it. A few years later, they resurfaced yet again under new identities. They continued spreading furry content to minors through Discord, and when people like Ruben Sim, Green Lego Cats, and Schlep kept exposing them, Cherry Paw panicked. Instead of taking accountability, they played the mental health card and doubled down by falsely accusing the people exposing him of being with zero evidence. This is not someone who made one mistake in their youth and learned from it. This is someone who's been caught over and over again for nearly a decade. Someone who keeps resurfacing, keeps manipulating, and keeps targeting minors. And Roblox, they've essentially looked the other way. The fact that Cherry Paw was ever entrusted with special reporting privileges shows just how flawed Roblox's systems are. The fact that after years of exposure, they still haven't been permanently dealt with shows Roblox's negligence. And before I switch into the final topic of the video, I just want to quickly point out that Cherry Paw is currently threatening to file false police reports on Parlo, the person who called him out after like years of him basically getting away. I find that absolutely insane. And anyways, onto the final topic of this video, there are now Roblox games that are actually shutting themselves down. They're not getting shut down by Roblox. They are choosing to shut down because of Roblox's child safety problems. I think that Roblox deserves a massive wake-up call. Not only are they facing criticism from politicians, both Republicans and Democrats, not only are they facing criticism from literally every creator on the platform, like star creators, they're quitting because of this. But now games are finally shutting down just because Roblox is this ignorant? I mean, they deserve a huge wake-up call. What the hell is David Baszucki doing? Why is he not retired? Why is Matt Kaufman still chief safety officer? He was literally seen in condo games. What the f, Roblox? That's why I think that this whole situation blew up as it is right now. Whether it's governments in Russia's considering bans for questionable reasons, administrators abusing their authority all the time and spreading hate, or long exposed like Cherry Paw slipping through the cracks constantly, Roblox keeps showing the same pattern. They don't act until the pressure becomes unavoidable, and when they do act, it's often too late. If you've made it until the end, please make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your thoughts down below on this whole situation. Last night, I uploaded a video speaking about somebody named Tuslo, who was actually recently teamed up with a group of people named 77, who have been going around claiming that basically every Roblox YouTuber, including Schlep, Ruben Sim, Green Lego Cats, Parlo, myself, a bunch of other YouTubers, like basically everyone, is a I think that seriously needs to be called out. So if you haven't already seen the video, I do highly advise that you go check it out now. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.